Everybody, welcome to the
Recording
22nd
has started.
episode, okay, of Sunday Brunch. Now, I got my girl Sue Wicks here with me. Now, let's take a look inside of Sue Wicks. Close your eyes, because sometimes you need to hear yourself. So, we got Sue Wicks, Rutgers All-American, who was born and raised, okay, in you said Maurice, right?
You could just
New
say
York?
Strong Island. You could just say Long
Long
Island.
Island, yeah. Um, she attended Rutgers and was named the Kodak All-American. Now get this, in 1986, 1987, 1988. Ew. And then in 1988, she won the Naismith USA Basketball Writers Association, Women's Basketball News Service, and Street and Smith National Player of the Year awards. She also was a gold medalist in '87 for the Pan Am American Games. Damn, Sue. Following her college career, she played professionally in Italy, Japan, Spain, and Israel. You can correct me later if I'm wrong. Before the WNBA was founded, in 1997, she was signed to the inaugural WNBA season by the New York Liberty. The Liberty played at the WNBA Championships games against the Houston Comets. You guys all know about those famous games, okay, and the famous shots and the famous people. She was also an Eastern Conference champion. Sue is currently an oyster farmer and owns Violet Cove Oyster Company in New York. Sue, welcome to the show, Sunday Brunch, where we mainly discuss basketball, but we love other sports. We got an all-star cast of ballers, which makes for a great show as usual. Sue, what's up?
Hey, goody. First of all, let me just say I feel so happy sitting here with you. I'm just blessed. And, we do go way back. I mean, even parts of us that before we even met each other, knew each other. I know,
Yes,
I knew of you. I remember, we go right through a big thread of women's basketball history. So when I was a freshman at Rutgers, 18 years old, mad as heck that we didn't make that limited field of teams going into the NCAA tournament. I'm sitting there watching this relatively new television station called ESPN, and they are
right.
going to play some women's basketball games. So, like I'm saying, just setting that, I'm already like, how come I'm not in the tournament? What's going on here? And there's New
Yes,
Jersey Girl coming on for OGU on television. So it's huge. I'm watching women's basketball, and there you are as a freshman doing work. And I have to tell you, you want to talk about motivating someone, summer workouts,
yeah,
watching play in that championship game, doing work against Georgia, winning that game. I mean, it's like, when you see someone and you can touch them, feel
yeah,
connected to them, I'm like, I should be out there, and it's an audacious statement, right? For a young person to say, I should be up there with the best. But I felt like there you are. And then you look in the mirror and like, Sue, why aren't you there? So, just
yeah.
wanted to work after my freshman year seeing you. So and that was little baby Goody out there just killing them on the boards like you did your whole career. Like, it's like, you think you're rebounding hard. And after I watched you, I was like, I got to hit those boards. I got to get on those old boards. So it was just, that was for me, it was like an explosion in my imagination of possibility to see it because I never seen players. So that was a great moment for me watching my New Jersey girl out there win her national championship as a freshman.
That's what's up. I appreciate it. Thank you for turning it back on me. That gave me chills and, you
Well,
know,
it's both of us. It's both. I think
yeah,
back and forth. It's never just one player. It's never just me. It's always, I always trying to latch on to Spoon's accomplishments.
yes, yes, right?
Trying to get in there on Rebecca's stuff and Becky Hammond's, Crystal Robinson. So yeah, we're all connected.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going to, Kim is so instrumental in making sure that I have my tickets and we sit down courtside and watch the game and, go in the back and, mingle with some people, running into Adam Silver. He's always over there because he's in New York. And so, just a lot. We can sit here and just talk about the things that we've done recently, But, once again, I'm great. I'm so glad to have you on the show. Once again, for all of the people that just chimed in, when you talk about history, okay, we were connected together before we were connected. You know,
Yeah.
I'm getting coached by Marianne Stanley. You're getting coached by Teresa Grants, and their connection. So
Yes.
you're under that Kathy Rush umbrella. So if people want to understand why we go hard, they need to go and get the movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. It's kicking my, what is it, Mighty something, Mighty
Yeah,
Ducks,
Mighty
something like
Max.
that.
Mighty Max.
Mighty
Mighty
Max. Go
Max.
get that
Yeah.
movie. You'll understand me and Sue. I couldn't understand why Marianne was making us practice at midnight with no basketballs. Then I watched that movie and saw how she made them do defense through a tunnel. That was in the ground, those little tunnel you can crawl through, how the animals kind of pass through 'em. So I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So then I understood where that mentality comes to make us better use your imagination because we had not one basketball. So, I don't want to take up all of the time with that. Give us a
Just one thing
glimpse.
with that, just one thing with that, because we do come from, an origin of women's basketball, and both of our coaches were two of the very first modern basketball players who changed
Yeah,
the played differently. Coach Stanley was a baller. And that was, when we were coming up in women's basketball, it was not exactly that. Of course, they were very talented players, but Teresa and Coach Stanley are modern players, and I think that's why they were so successful and continue. Marianne's success continues because she has player mentality.
yes, absolutely. I got Elisa Scott on here saying, "What up, Sue? 87 Pan Am Games in Como, Italy." I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it at that. I mean, you've been so many places. I mean, you grew up in Long Island. Right? What was it like? Because I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey, and I know that I have got to have the water. That was instrumental in me picking Old Dominion. I have to be by a body of water, or it's just a weird kind of feeling for me. Talk about how it was to grow up over there in Long Island Sound.
I love what you just said. So I am the same. My dad was a fisherman, so part of my growing up was being out on the water, being in the middle of a body of water with just that big, expansive, almost cathedral sky, and the dunes, and the gulls singing, and the ocean roaring in the background. That I don't know, it just set like a backdrop in my mind about, wow, I'm in paradise right now. So when I went to Rutgers, right on the banks of the Raritan, there's water. When I went to Lake Como, water. And I remember Bruce Levy, I would tell him, I want to be next to water. He goes, what about money? I was like, number one, I need to be next to water. The same thing. So that is awesome. Yes, always water. I mean, and it's my space. We all have spaces that just rejuvenate us and get us back to our base level of feeling good. And the water and the beach has always been that space to me. Or even, and another thing, probably the same for you, back in the gym. If you can get back in the gym and just, go back to basics, shoot some free throws. I don't know what it does to my brain, but it resets my brain. It's like, okay, everything is easy. Just stick to your fundamentals. Just go back to basics and build back up from there. And it must be the way my brain is built. So basketball fundamentals are a definite reset button for me. Even at my golden age now at 53, I still like to shoot a couple of free throws.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just I've had so many coaches, and especially Candy Harvey in Utah. I remember I was having some personal things go on at that time, and she was like, "I will come in the gym and I will shoot with you at 6 o'clock in the morning. When you come in this gym, this is your heaven. You
Yes.
know, is where you could let go of everything that's bothering you and refocus and recreate, and nothing touches you when you're in here. So if you need to stay in here just to get your peace, I will stand here and rebound for you. I love Coach Harvey. She brought out something in me, a fire in me and not saying that it wasn't that it had diminished, but um, we were really trying to build that program up there in Utah, and we built the hell out of that program in Utah, and a lot of it was due to her coming in, behind Fred Williams, who was there, who also did a great job while he was there. So just yeah, the gym is major, and it's therapeutic, and you gotta find your peace, you gotta find your place in this world, whatever it is. So
I
getting on
love,
to it.
there's so much wisdom in there, Goody. I mean, and an element of a great coach is giving them that space. And you say passion and building something, and it conjures an image of a fire, in a person, that passion. And to
Yeah,
let that fire grow inside of your players, to give them that space that not every coach is in control of, but to trust that and to let your players become fully, I don't know, themselves, to become themselves, if that makes sense, to allow that instead of trying to push and fit someone into their preconceived idea of the perfect player. No, let me get my best Goody on the floor. Let me get my best whoever on the floor. And that's how, the building block of a great team. And a coach knows that. A great coach knows that.
yeah, absolutely. She used to give us all literature, give us books, just on, how to, just on positive thinking, and, just she was just fantastic in that. And I love coaches like that. I still have a book that she gave to me, and it's just great coaches that I've gone through, not just in the United States, but also internationally. I got to give a big up to Maria Elena Cardosa, who was down in Brazil and brought me down there and started me off on my career. And I thank Coach Stanley for that. I was in Brazil, and I lived and played and learned how to speak Portuguese, and I played there for 7 years on and off. And eu falo português muito bem. So,
Nice.
so I know you know how to speak Italian. All of y'all were over there. You played USA basketball. Who was your coach at that time? And what medals did you get?
Don't let me have a senior moment. I played for, oh my gosh, Goody, you really got me off guard now. I played for the Hall of Famer Texas coach. Everyone,
Judy, what was her name? Jody?
yeah,
Jody.
Jody Conrad. Thank you. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, what a senior moment
Right.
I just had.
Listen,
So that was a
it's all
fantastic,
good.
and Lynn Dunn was the assistant. So,
Yes.
and that was so fantastic. You know what it's like, and that's for you, for me, for any player. Scotty played on that team, and you could see Scotty, because I remember Scotty was a late addition, and she just has her personality that she voices those things. Sometimes we have too much pride to let out how we're feeling. But she was like, "Oh, I'm here with the big dogs. I'm here with the best players in the world. I can't believe I'm here, and I get to do the thing that I'm trying to be the best at and that I love." So that moment, um, it was just even the practices, every day in practice, to be with the best in the world. It was a dream come true. For me, it was the first time, Rutgers, of course, the first time as a freshman stepped on the court with like-minded people that were dedicated, wanted to play basketball. And then when I played on that team, it was like, oh my gosh, it was so thrilling. And we won a gold medal. Coop was on the team. It was fantastic. I mean, obviously, those are the moments that we all live for. To be in a team that has great chemistry with
Yes.
great players, all, thriving and on the same page, doing their thing individually and in the team concept. It was a great moment for me.
Absolutely. I could tell. I could tell your cheekbones raising up. You got all red and everything. I tell you, we start reminiscing about things that we've passed through.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, that I took from this, and this is a life lesson, make sure you connect yourself with like-minded people, and, no matter what it is that you do in life, and, and when you have that like-mindedness, you talk about those teams that won championships, that was because of that like-mindedness. And not that the teams that lost didn't have the like-mindedness. maybe the other team just had one more person or one more ingredient better than the next person. I mean, you guys, you and Houston were the reason why the WNBA became what it was. And I'm not even going to front on that. I'll say that all day because you guys were constantly in the championship. You guys were constantly out there. You guys, your faces drove the WNBA for a while. You know what I'm saying? So and it got that attention. It got people saying, "Hey, what's going on with this WNBA?" New York was rocking, and when it first started, and I like it for it to be that way for it to get back to that. New York was rocking,
Yeah.
DC was rocking.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wow, Seattle rocking as usual, and it's still rocking.
Yeah.
Portland now defunct, rocking. Utah, I was so upset when we left. You know, they're rocking. So with that being said, did I lose you, Sue? You got a little you
I'm
kind of
here.
moved your
I'm
phone.
here.
It got a little murky. Oh, okay. Don't move, Sue, because you
Okay,
you
sorry.
froze
Sorry, I
up.
got excited.
Right? So the thing about it was I just would love for, people to get back to, or the WNBA to get back to that ambiance where every single gym and every venue that you played at was rocking. And I think after this COVID, not to bring that up, it's a sore subject, but there's a blessing and a curse involved in all of it. And so the blessing for the WNBA is that now people had to be in the house. So now the games are on. They're on the social justice pitch and everything like that. Just awesome. And now that we're talking about that, how are you surviving COVID-19? Talk to me a little bit about that oyster farm. People need to follow Sue on Instagram, man. Oh my gosh, she's rocking over there. You show the water, you show how you get the oyster. You have beautiful scenery. You take the most gorgeous shots of the sunset. And oh man, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
All right, goody. So thanks for saying that. So I think I started to share a lot on Instagram during this COVID because I knew I was blessed that I was able to go out in nature, untouched nature every day, that I was able to go keep working. And, we provide food at the end of the day to be part of that system, local food here that we were doing. But I knew that just my ride out, pictures of the sunset were good for my soul, and I knew they were good for other people's souls. So I think through the COVID, I feel blessed that I was able to continue to work and that I had a gorgeous place to go into that is another world, if you will, another world that does not, it has none of our rules, so it's another, you go into nature and I'm welcomed into the house of fish and birds and oysters and the weather, and that is, I'm always a guest in there, so it's like it's almost a time out from my world here, which is politics, which is cultural revolution, a worldwide pandemic, global economy shut down, just polarized parties that have destroyed family relationships, that have put wedges in between people, that have put on blinders, opened up hate, wells of hate in people that I didn't know existed. So that is the other place that I return to after I come back from seagulls and birds and fish. And you come back to that horrid, horrid thing then to make people sit in their houses for months and just marinate in all that ugliness. So definitely, truly, truly blessed. And so I was like, I got to share some of this. Really the gift of God every morning. He's a gorgeous artist with that sunrise, the sunsets. And every day is a reminder that it's unique and start over with a fresh mind.
Mm,
Yeah,
Selah,
yeah.
Selah, Selah. Meditate on that, people. telling you, it was Sunday brunch, 22nd edition. Sue Wicks, superstar, New Jersey, Rutgers, had everybody thinking you were from New Jersey, but she's from the Long Island Sound, baby. Long Island Sound. So happy to be here with you. Let's talk basketball inside the Wubble, okay? You got the MVP, Asia Wilson. Okay, you got the Defensive Player of the Year, Candace Parkey, Rookie of the Year, Crystal Dangerfield, Coach of the Year, Cheryl Reeves. All right. Right now, the Aces are going head to head with Seattle for the chip. Give us your take on the Wubble, the social injustice, the players, coaches. Who do you think wins it all?
Oh, wow. So
Loaded, loaded.
I'm going to go. So they're in the wobble. Now, you mentioned you played in Brazil. And I'm going to tell you, when we first started, were we not in some type of strange wobble when we went overseas, a cultural thing, separated from all our friends, family, culture, food? And I'm going to tell you, the only technology that was available was a fax machine. So there was no Facebook Live, there was no Instagram, there was no, hey, let's Zoom. You packed your bags, everything you had, knowing that you're not getting another pair of short sneakers overseas. You get there, you probably brought some pancakes with you because you knew you weren't going to get them. And you were there till you got back. And maybe you had some money to have a friend come over, but that was the ultimate, I think, bubble to live in until we got smart and said, you know what? Let me check out this culture here. Let me learn a little bit of language and make a new friend. So we had, opportunity to expand our life there. That's different. But I know that we were in a really unique moment as players, and there wasn't that many of us. I remember when we were in Italy the first time around, maybe there was 15 American players. So we were and you were so happy every week to go see an American player, like, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 isn't this crazy? So they're all down there by themselves. Some girls, have a lot in common, getting to know each other. But it is, after saying that, it's crazy. The idea of it is still crazy. But it makes for some good basketball. I have to tell you, watching the first game of the finals, that is some fantastic basketball. And we've grown up with basketball. And move through basketball. When I think about my Liberty teams, your Utah teams, those first heydays we were talking about the WNBA, the girls now are much better. I mean, you have to just say there's no way I'm watching our MVP Wilson, and it's like I couldn't contain her. Those post moves, the size, the strength, the power, forget about it. And one-on-one, I mean, she's pretty much unstoppable on that post there. So that I was like, okay, there's a nightmare for you. And we've had them. I mean, there's definitely been players over the years.
Yeah,
Yes,
I could think of quite a few nightmares that was
exactly.
out there, killer fives and killer fours.
Yes.
Going back in the day.
And
We could,
Natalie for one.
I could,
Yeah.
I could, she reminds me of, maybe not as athletic, but can do damage like a Katrina McClain.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, just to shoot people out there. And this is the reason why I have the show, because I want to bring it to the people and let them understand what the history of women's basketball is. We had a very fantastic roundtable. Shout out to my girl Penny Tola, Carolyn Towns, and Tamika Dixon. Love them much, man.
Yes, me too.
During the season and stuff like that. And we'll get back to that. I'll tell you one thing, man. There's just so many beautiful relationships that I've developed that have come out of this, the whole thing, traveling the world, having teammates that I still am connected with in Brazil, that I talk to, and we go back and forth. And the social media is such a powerful, powerful tool if you use it the right way. Now
Being,
we can use it for good, like just like with anything, we could use it for good, we could use it for evil, but if you use it for the right things, it will keep you connected to your friends, it will keep you connected to your family, it will extend your boundaries, you can do business with it, and so there's just so much that's going on. Getting back to basketball, I tell you what, those kids, they definitely are. They're good, they're athletic, they have a lot more than we had at that time. But I could tell you, Sue, real talk, I'm just that way. If I could take it back, man, I'm in there.
yes, yes. I mean, and
You
it
know?
definitely, it's one of those things. Even when I was, playing, when I'd be watching a game on whatever, on tape or television, even way back when I'm talking about watching you at ODU win the championship, I'm watching it with big eyes, like, oh my gosh, could I keep up with that pace? Could I guard her? Could I do this? And I'm not so sure. But once you get out there, and you want to get out there, you don't care if you fail or whatever. I got to get out there. I got to see if I can, because number one, it's not even, I just got to be out there. I got to be part of it. It's like a dance floor. You're like, and you hear your music, your song. I got to get out there. And even today at this age, I'm sure all players feel like this. I want to get out there, and it feels like you have to exercise so much restraint because time does not let you do that. But I'm sitting there, and I get very hyped watching basketball, very hyped, and then also I have a letdown because I can't play anymore. I have that feeling like you just can't do it anymore, but it's magic for me. So when I'm watching, my eyes are big and I'm watching the players and I have such high praise for them and also a little bit of envy. I always have envy. I'm like, oh my gosh, watching Stewart play and just her game. And it's the same thing like a history. I go through the players and how she is at the top for me right now as far as what a big girl can do. And I'll go, I'll do Della Dawn and I'll do Jackson and I'll just go back through all the, and Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, just going, and then all the way back to Cheryl. So you see the big player, that girl that can do that, and then she's taken it to a space where it's like, whoa. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you
absolutely.
compare them, and they all have hearts of lions. So you never, like they say, never underestimate a champion. So I'm saying the game has changed. But I would always say, the players we played with and before us, any of those champions from eras, I think would always make a space for themselves on the floor because that fire is real.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta, and there's quite a few players out there, including yourself, whose games are timeless. And so, when that's why when they do the comparison for MJ and LeBron, listen, if MJ got the opportunity to be out there, man, his game is timeless. We're not even talking about it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his game is timeless. He gets out there, he does what he does. Bill Russell, his game is timeless. You put him out there, he does what he does. Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry
Yeah.
West, Larry Bird. I just keep connecting the dots. So it's so unfair when they compare people to each other because they can't come together and play. But I tell you, if I would be the first person in the gym if MJ could come back and go against LeBron. I don't care how 6'9" he is, 6'8" he is, okay? I'm gonna show you something. Michael's done it and he'll do it again. Dunk on top of your head. So bottom line is this, you got something to say when you said the heart of a champion, the heart of a lion. The heart of a lion is
Yeah.
is 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 something that's major. And once again, you're here, 22nd edition, Sunday brunch. My girl, superstar, Hall of Famer, the Wicks. Ask questions, you guys, while you have on there. You watched her on the floor, you watched her on the court, got the opportunity to ask her some questions. I'm gonna shout out some people that are on here: Angela Holloway, Beth Carroll, Jensen, Kenneth Prisk, my guy down there in VA, Craig London. Shout out to Ruby Lissa, Chris Buck, Al Strickland, Kelly McDonald. What up, baby girl? I miss you in the classroom. Jose Solero, Elisa Scott, of course, Cynthia Portner. Ask questions. One thing that Beth Carroll Jensen said, all sports keep kids together. No better discipline. What do you think about that?
So I coach at my high school, and my niece plays for me. Just like you're saying, we have been taught by the best, and been taught some great lessons. And I'm listening to you talk, and I know you. So we've definitely taken out the good. We take out the good, throw away what we don't need, and we let that fill up and make it the people that we are today. So when I coach the basketball with the girls, it is to teach them about life. It's not about basketball. We're going to do the basketball. We're going to shoot. We're going to set screens. We're going to rebound. But every one of them, every young person, including me, I'm still a young person. I'm going to say, as far as life, I'm still being sculpted by the lessons that I'm learning, that I'm opening myself to, and taking some hard hits, and then also moving into new spaces from those lessons learned. So when you're coaching, you got to let coaches coach. And I don't know if parents are in this time allowing coaches to coach. They just don't think, because they want everything immediate. Like, how come
Yes.
the kid is not a better shooter? How come? And it's like, the shooting, that's going to take a few years. We're working on character, and that's going to take a long time as well. We're working on dedication to the team, all these different lessons, life lessons that come through basketball. And it is the greatest. It's the greatest teaching machine about life, because it's safe. It's safe. You're going to learn some really important lessons in a safe environment. And you know what's going to get hurt a little bit sometimes, and it's okay. It's your ego, and it's just an ego. And we have to learn about those things. The kids that I have are fantastic. The only time I have a little is a pushback from a parent that wants maybe even the playing field to slant a little bit towards their child, to make it easier for their child, for you to recognize this unique, special person that their child is. And it's like, yeah, I recognize it. And that's, of course, you love these kids. Now let me coach them. There's it's going to hurt a little bit sometimes, because that's part of it. If it doesn't hurt a little bit, there's no shaping involved in the process. So I love coaching, and it's always in the back of my head that you're creating one. Like you said, when you're with your coach and shooting, this special place that these kids will own forever. I can play basketball. I can do this. I'm physically capable, and you can always go shoot that. And there's something meditative, restorative about it. You can always watch sports and see yourself, your highest self. And I think I'm preset to see my highest self all the time. So when I'm watching a game and I see something great out there, I identify with it, and I identify my higher self, and it lifts me up to be a better person again. I'm reset when I watch a WNBA game, and I'm like, wow, what a great team player. Wow, she really sacrificed there. Look at that great hustle. Wow, she improved in the off season. So I always look for myself, and it elevates me, because I'm always seeing my higher self. So I'm just saying, when you teach the kids and you're pointing out and say, you know what, I like your hustle, they will never forget that, and they will bring it with them all through their life, in different hustle situations, different sacrifice situations, well, this is going to be hard, but at the end of it, it's going to be better, and it's going to be worth it. And that's, I'm going to call it faith. It's a reinforcement of faith, basketball, that you're going to put in this work. And sometimes kids are like, why should I? What if it doesn't work out? Well, that's where faith comes in, and our world's a little bit like that now. It's like, oh my gosh, the cultural revolution that we're in is so painful that things are going sideways, a little bit out of control. Who knows what's going on? Have a little faith, because the intention is good, and the intention is right, and the moment is right. And we're all going to do our best to move through this to a better place. We don't go backwards. The idea of looking backwards in anything is a big mistake. And you'll see it when you said earlier, you gravitate towards the good people that bring you to your higher place, right? And that higher place is never looking backwards. It's never saying, oh, we were better with the last coach. The last coach was so much better. Oh, if we could only do it this way again. No, we're getting better, we're evolving, we're moving to new spaces. And that template, that mindset, that brain function is a lesson from sports. And I don't know if I'm just so drunk on the ideals that we learned from sports, but sometimes when I see behavior from leadership, I'm like, that son of a gun never played sports in their life. They don't understand what it is to make sacrifice. They don't know what it is to be part of a team. They don't know what it is to care about air. You know what I'm saying? So I think, they always say, a little religion is good in your leaders, a strong faith in God. Yes, and also a little team sports is a good
Yeah,
ingredient. Should be
absolutely.
on your resume.
You're absolutely right. I mean, that was wisdom right there. And I tell you what, we just, women's basketball players, I don't want to toot our horns, but I tell you what, boy, we are some of the most powerful, educated women, people, uh, species on the planet who don't get enough credit and, you know, um, need to be sought after for positions. I mean, who wouldn't want to have Sue Wicks in the office? That's my question. And so,
That
how do people? I want you to answer that question, but I also want you to tell us how do people get in touch with you on social media? But say what you were going to say first.
I was going to say, you mentioned Adam Silver. I mean, the seeing the untapped potential in the WNBA players to say, you know what? I need them as executives in the NBA, in the WNBA, in the G League. I need this. Why would I not tap some of this potential? It's so obvious, but that's a stroke of genius. It really is, and to see the obvious and then to execute a plan on it. So I know that you were involved in that, and I know that you went back and got your master's and continue to improve and do new things and search out opportunities and expand opportunities. So that is one of the ingredients of women basketball players. And part of me is, again, the higher self and seeing the good part. I know that the women I know have been polished like gems. And part of it is not being recognized. Part of it is hardship. Part of it is that extreme moment of, why am I doing this? It's not for so much financial reward. And you go through this, it is difficult. It is more difficult. I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying to be a woman athlete, financially, there isn't a great reward there. And not only is it less recognition, it's actually a lot more opening yourself for more criticism. And that's one of those things you see on social media.
Oh God.
It's brutal to watch a comment section on women's sports. Or anything that I believe in. I read an article, I'm like, oh, that was fantastic. That moves me. And then I make that brutal, stupid mistake to look at the comments. And I don't know who hires these people to write them, but it's disgusting. But at the end of it, I mean, you
God
get the
has a
product
plan.
of the players that I know, that that are just, they're, I'm going to say even more evolved. They're just better humans for the struggles they've been through, the test, and then you see the strength of, I know who I am. I know what you're saying about me, but I know who I am. I know I'm not rewarded the way, and then you think that money is the end all of how I am valued. You have it wrong, or fame is the end all. It's not. It's, contained in this package that you are, a Kim Hampton is, that a Spoon is, that a a Tina, you just see a Lisa Leslie, just and from the beauty of it is seeing, like, for me, a Lisa Leslie from point day one into where she is now. I'm like, oh my goodness, the polishing and the education and where she arrives at as a woman. It's just fantastic to watch that process.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's like we're all watching each other grow up. We're all helping each other evolve into this to these great women, and I appreciate you being on the show because you're helping me go higher. It just is, and my purpose and what it is that I'm trying to do. And you're listening to Sunday Brunch with Superstar Sue Wicks, Hall of Famer. Got my girl on the show. Tell
Oh.
us how we can keep in touch with you on social media. Are there any new things in the works you want to
Well,
share?
I'm on Violet Cove Oyster Co. I mean, I made it so difficult to find it, but Violet Cove Oyster is basically I do all of my stuff from there. And I'm always promoting aquaculture. It's important to me. It's my business, but it's also, I just love the idea of sustainable farming. I love the idea of, putting the environment out there. What you see and what you're with every day is what you begin to love. And what you love, you take care of. And that again, my whole brain is set up on basketball. So it was like defense, maybe I didn't like it in the beginning, but then you begin to appreciate it and love it. And that's, all you think about. Once you love something, you care about it. And that's, so the environment is something that I love and care about, because let's face it, it loves and cares about us. We're so connected to it. So I try and highlight that too. So many people don't connect with it, especially when we grow up. And I lived in New York City. I lived in Brooklyn for so long, and so much cement around me, So to reconnect with nature really makes me come back to a person that I am. So I like to show that to people, to say, let's take care of our planet a little bit. Even if that makes you recycle a can or, be less apt to throw some junk in the water.
Yeah, awesome. And you're doing an awesome job over there, Instagram. So you guys go over to Instagram, befriend Violet Cove Oyster Co. That is Sue Wicks. She does a fantastic job of showing you what it's all about. I love it when you crack open an oyster and you just go, yeah, that tastes good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or you just come on and you might just be jamming to some music while you just
yeah,
on your boat. It's just awesome. Nature, reconnect with nature. I'm always by the water. I have got to have it. I go for a walk in the morning by the water. I finish up my night by the water. Because it speaks to my soul. God already told us there's a blessing in the water. Stay
yeah,
near it. You know
yes, yes, yes.
exactly. But if you have Anchor FM, download it. Google Podcasts, download it. Apple Podcasts, download it. Castro, download it. Pocket Cast, download it. Overcast, download it. Himalaya, y'all, download it. Radio Public, Spotify, and podcast. Any kind of podcast you have, look for a WNBA State of Mind. Get that. Tomorrow, you were talking up all of the people. Tomorrow, I'm on a show. Host Daryl Jacobs, ESPN. Straight to the point. Guess who I'm on there with? Kim Hampton,
Woo!
Sue Weatherspoon, Sonia Chase.
Nice.
So tomorrow, look out for that link. Gonna be Facebook Live, I think. If not, I'm gonna update, let everybody know how they can join in on that link. Sitting there with two of my great friends, Kim Hampton, Teresa Spoon, Sonia Chase. Tell you what, it's gonna be fantastic. Sue, I love you much. Thank you so much for being on the show. Hope you come back another time, visit with us, and just sit in for Sunday brunch.
Goody, I love you. I have to tell you, you lift up my spirits. Like every time I see you, always making me happy with that killer smile, doing great things, elevating others, sharing your wisdom and your love of this game. I love you so much. I'm so happy for our friendship. So
I
happy.
tell you what, they feel the love through the internet. They don't understand it's real. The sister love, WNBA, telling you we're connected like that. Unbreakable, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Unbreakable. There may be some things that may try to come, but we're sisters. We're unbreakable. Okay? Shout out to everybody. Tommy Sosa, I love y'all. Peace. Thanks for coming on the show.
Love you. Bye, Judy.